members of the committee. Before we go further, I just want to, we want to start with introduction, to introduce ourselves. My humble self, I'm Honorable Suleiman Jammeh, member of this committee, but today I'm deputizing the chairman.
Good afternoon. Yes, I am well known by the chairman, of course, but nevertheless, I'll continue with the, proceed on with the introduction. My name is Honorable Fatou Cham, the NAM for Sanimentering constituency and a member to this committee. Thank you.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Honorable Keba Jallo, member for Jara Central constituency and a co-opted member to the committee.
Good afternoon. I am Honorable Musa Cham, member for Serakunda.
Good afternoon. I am Honorable Keba Tumani Sane, National Assembly member for Fonyi Jaro, and a member to this committee.
Good afternoon. My name is Yusuf Akka, subject matter specialist.
Good afternoon. My name is Aliou Fall, subject matter specialist.
My name is Bakari Traore, Director of Audit, Municipalities and Area Councils, National Audit Office.
Good afternoon. I am Yaya Jalo, Audit Manager, National Audit Office.
Good afternoon. I am Bram Konja from GPPA.
Good afternoon. Ibrahim Asanyang, Director of Procurement Policy and Operations, GPPA.
Thank you very much. So for that. Yes, before we go further, we want to know from your end, Brikama Area Council, witnesses that will make statement so that we can administer them, the affirmation. So you just need to identify those who are going to give a statement, testimony. You can start introducing yourself, then from there you can tell us who are going to give testimony.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Honorable Sirifo Sonko, Chairman, Brikama Area Council. We are happy and delighted to be here upon your call. I'm here with my team, and I can let them introduce themselves.
Good afternoon. I am Udu Jonga, CEO, Brikama Area Council.
Assalamu alaikum. I am Adama Bojandi, Planning Director, Brikama Area Council.
Good afternoon. I am Alaji Jeng, the Director of Finance, Brikama Area Council.
Good afternoon. I'm Mr. Suleiman Bari, Principal Internal Auditor, Brikama Area Council.
Good afternoon. I'm Yahya Ba, Finance Manager, Brikama Area Council.
Good afternoon. Mr. Sido Kunta, Procurement Manager, Brikama Area Council.
Good afternoon. Mr. Ibrahim Asawane, Acting Director of Administration, Brikama Area Council.
Good afternoon. I'm Awa Toure, Procurement Clerk, Brikama Area Council.
Thank you very much for that. Clerk, can you administer the affirmation, please? So you just identify those who are going to be witness.
Yes, the CEO, the Honorable Chairman, and of course the Director of Finance.
Okay,
will be making testimonies.
I think it's better we do it once and for all. Huh? You can use the mic, please. Thank you.
I'll say you add your name to the I, and we'll continue with the rest of the statement.
I, Honorable Sirifo Sonko.
I, Modu Jonga.
Do hereby affirm that.
Do hereby affirm that.
I will speak the truth.
I will speak the truth.
The whole truth.
The whole truth.
Nothing but the truth.
Nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Thank you very much. So welcome to the Fpac committee, and this afternoon you are here to present your activity report and the financial audited report of 2020 and 2021. So for that being the case, I don't know who is going to give the report, but you know, we may want you to summarize it. Then from there, then the finance director can go in for the financial statement, please. And you can always refer us the page, especially the summary, executive summary. Yes, I think the CEO can do the executive summary. Yeah?
Okay. Good afternoon once again, Honorable Chairman, distinguished members of the Fpac, subject matter specialists, officials from the National Audit Office, and also from the Gambia Public Procurement Authority. I also want to acknowledge the presence of the Honorable Chairman and team from Brikama Area Council. I am reading from the 2020 activity report, page 4, which is the summary of the activity report. This report has highlighted, among others, the multiple interventions Brikama Area Council undertake during the period under review, which is from 1st January to 31st December 2020. The report gives an insight of the Council, the mission, the vision, mandate, and the strategic direction that we have identified from the period 2020 to 2024. As part of our key mandate, Brikama Area Council has routinely embarked on collection of both solid and liquid waste, participated in various cleansing exercises within major growth centers across the region. The report gave an account of the first ever stakeholders conference held at the Kairaba Beach Hotel. The rationale of such conference is to build strategic partnership and relationship towards the attainment of our strategic priorities as enshrined in our strategic blueprint 2020-2024, and to maximize opportunities to building a responsive and a vibrant council. We're excited to report that the event was attended by all the National Assembly members of West Coast Region, Sefolu, Alkalulu, representative of the communities and our diverse stakeholders across West Coast Region. Also, the management under the period under review have launched the first ever digital tax collection system, thereby migrating from our traditional ways of manual revenue collection. The digital tax collection system is to ensure the viability of our revenue sources, maximize our revenue potential, reduce the risk of tax compliance, and drastically eliminate revenue leakages. When the World Health Organization on the 11th of March 2020 declared the novel coronavirus COVID-19 outbreak as a global pandemic, It is in the view of these difficulties that are posed by the pandemic on the livelihood of the local communities and the world, Brikama Area Council, cognizance of its roles in the society, has supported the region in the area of food and sanitary materials. So we have also supported vulnerable groups in the communities, such as women and the youth. Now, the executive summary gives a description of West Coast region, which is divided into 9 administrative districts. Each is headed by a chief, 12 electoral constituencies, and 28 wards with 9 nominated councillors, which represents various interest groups, such as chiefs, women, farmers, and youths. The LGA is the most rapidly urbanizing in the recent past and has a total area of 1,764.3 kilometers, with a population density of 396.6 per square kilometers. Most of the inhabitants earn their livelihood through farming, horticulture, petty trading, fishing, and clerical work. The LGA records a poverty rate of 51.2%, which is higher than the national average of 48.6%. The level of inequality is high, as manifested by the significant difference in access to basic services among districts in the LGA. As a rapidly urbanizing LGA, immense pressure is exerted on infrastructure and services, placing serious challenges on service providers to meet increasing demands. Now I take you through the mission statement as indicated in our strategic blueprint. The vision is to be a vibrant and environmentally friendly council that provides the right condition for the effective involvement of various actors in the economic and social life of the region. The mission is to enhance the quality of life and the social cohesion of the inhabitants of West Coast region by embracing the best practice of good governance, socio-economic justice, and citizen-focused service delivery. Our motto is to collect, we collect and serve. So from page 5, you see the activity that I highlighted earlier on, which is the validation of the strategic development plan, which was held on the 4th of November 2019. And then the next page, page 6, talks about the annual stakeholders conference, which was held on the 14th of December 2020. And you will see on page 7, you have the expected outcome of this dialogue. The stakeholders that we have targeted, or that we are targeted. Then the page 9 talks about the launching of the first ever digital tax collection system in partnership with 5C Gambia Limited. It talks about the rationale and the objectives of the digital tax collection system. Now page 10 focuses on the review of the Local Government Finance and Audit Act 2004. It also talks about the validation of the Local Government Finance and Audit Bill 2020. It also talks about the inauguration of the Nema Kunku market in Combo North District. Page 11 dilated on the COVID-19 interventions across the region. Page 12 deals with youth empowerment and support to women gardening activities. On the page 13, it talks about professional studies that staffs are undergoing in order to enhance staff productivity for efficient service delivery. The same page 13 deals with the Greater Banjul Urban Development Sustainable Development Program 2040, which was implemented by UNOPS de Gambia and funded by the African Development Bank. Page 14 talks about a project management foundation training for key staffs of the council as part of the Greater Banjul Urban Sustainable Development Program 2040. We also have page 15 where it talks about IFMIS, which is the Integrated Financial Management Information System, which is an automated system that is used for public finance management. It kind of links planning, budgeting, expenditure, management, and control and also accounting, audit, and reporting. So page 16 talks about the training where the IFMIS users of the councils have undergone a training from the 8th of December to the 11th of December at the Accountant General's Department. The same page 17 talks about the public finance management reform strategy that the council has implemented over the period under review, that is 2021 to 2025, in collaboration with the Directorate of Public Finance Management under the Ministry of Finance and Economic Affairs. So page 18 gives you a description of what are these reforms. The budgetary reforms, procurement reforms, internal audit reforms, financial management, accounting and reporting reforms, and also revenue generation reforms. The same page talks about an activity that rewards outstanding revenue collectors. The next page, 19, talks about the donation of learning materials, that is books, to the Gambia College, libraries and schools in the West Coast region. The same page talks about the sensitization of National Assembly members and members of the Technical Advisory Committee on our digital tax collection system, which was held on the 28th of January 2020. Now, page 19 onwards gives a description of what are the roles and responsibilities of the various units and departments in Council. It starts with the Information and Technology Unit. Then page 21 gives you what are the functions or the responsibilities of the Magistrate Court, which is headed by a lay magistrate. And the same page 21 gives you a description of what are the roles and functions of the Directorate of Planning and Development. And going fast forward, page 24 talks about our contributions to feeder roads rehabilitation, still under the Directorate of Planning and Development. The next page, 25, talks about the Specialized Procurement Unit, SPU. Under the same page, you have the roads projects that were implemented in Brikama during the period under review, which are 3 in number. And these contracts were awarded to SAR Construction Company Limited and Savjas Construction and also General Procurement in the sum of $15.6 million. The next page talks about, page 26, talks about the focus of COVID-19 relief raised. In May 2020, we purchased a total of 1,680 25 kg bags of rice to support families in the West Coast region during the COVID-19. Page 26 talks about overseas travels, where the Honorable Chairman, supported by a planning technician, attended the 10th World Urban Forum that was held in Abu Dhabi. Page 27 also gives a report on the Chairman's visit to Dakar from the 28th to 38th October. Beneath that, you have reports on the unit which is responsible for environmental health and sanitation. So that goes from it goes through to page 28. Page 29 talks about a cleanup exercise through clearing of illegal communal dump sites during the period under review. These interventions were done in collaboration with partners such as TAF Africa Global and Eco Gambia Limited, conducting a general cleansing exercise along the Bruceby and Senegambia Highway with the objectives of preventing environmental pollution. The next page, 30, gives a description of the commemoration of the International Cleanup Day. So this day was observed on coastal cleaning exercise with the objective to ensure a clean environment along the coastline communities such as Gunjur, Sanyang, Katong, and Madina Salam. The objective is also to help in saving marine lives. The partners include the National Environmental Agency and also the Gambia Maritime and Environmental Conservation Initiative and the Bardala Foundation and Community Action Platform on Environment and Development, among others. So page 30 gives a report on the activities of the Department of Finance, which is headed by the Director and assisted by the Finance Manager 1 and 2 plus line managers. The next heading deals with the strategy of the department, the constraints, and the way forward. Page 33 is the conclusion part of the report, and I want to read that through. We want to take this opportunity to thank the members of this august body, both past and present, for creating the right atmosphere during this difficult period of 2020. We want to thank our line ministry, the governor, West Coast region, past and present, and the former chairman for their foresight. Finally, to the honorable chairman, honorable vice chairperson, councillor staff, chiefs and alcalde, and the entire people of the West Coast region for their support and understanding. That brings me to the end of activity report for 2020. With your permission, Honorable Chair, I can proceed.
On 2021?
Yes.
So is that okay? Or we deal with 2020, then move to 2021? Hmm? Yeah, because he's just presenting, then we'll do the consideration on Monday. So just go, we can proceed with 2021, then later we come to the finance director to also do a similar thing. I think that's okay. Huh? All right, you may proceed. Thank you.
All right, thank you. So we'll go straight to the executive summary. Sorry, the summary, that is page 6, to give you an understanding of what the report entails. This report covers the period 1st January 2021 to 31st December 2021. The report captures, among other things, the description of our vision and mission, our strategic blueprint covering the period 2020 and 2024. As a public service provider, this report also highlights several interventions made within the West Coast region. Such intervention includes, are not limited to, provisions of safe drinking water, electricity expansion, infrastructural development such as road reconstruction and rehabilitation, and support to education and health service, among others. The reports further mention the support given to stakeholders on the engagement of youths on the dangers of illegal migration, commonly known as the Bagway. You are also aware that the dangers caused by this so-called Bagway syndrome that claims the life of our able men and women at the high seas of the Mediterranean. Also in the reports were the support given to the July 7th windstorm victims. The said incident ravaged many households across the country. West Coast region was not an exception. Currently, our team of technicians is engaged in a digital mapping. The importance of this exercise is to identify the location of key or important institutions within the West Coast region, especially markets, hospitals, schools, fire service, and police stations. Most importantly, the digital mapping will help us as council to know the locations of each compound with regards to tax collection. The report also highlights this very important milestone. We also report on the donation received from development partners like the United Nations Development Program, UNDP, and then the Turkish Cooperation and Coordination Agency, TICA. These are other activities mentioned in this report were embarked on during the period, the said period by Brikama Area Council. So introduction, like I did the other time, we just go through that because it's the same, it's generic. So we move straight to page 10. That talks about BSC partners with Molo Association on Waste Management, which was held on the 10th of January 2021. The next item is the site handing over to Guy Construction Enterprise for work to commence for the reconstruction of 88 stalls in Brikama Central Market through a delegated management contract which was signed with the Ministry of Transport, Works and Infrastructure with a counterpart contribution from the Council. Page 11 talks about our interventions in 3 communities that benefited from the sum of $614,000. These communities include Baka Sambuya in Combo Central, Lamen in Combo North, and also Sarembele Cluster in Sifo Village. These funds are meant for the provision of potable water, street lights, and also electricity expansion. The support is also in line with our strategic priority 1, which is provision and extension of water and electricity supply, and also strategic priority 5, which is support to both economic and social activities in line with our strategic development plan. Page 12 talks about the presentation of checks worth over 1.9 million as our counterpart contribution for the reconstruction of stores in Brikama Central Market, which was in the spirit of the delegated management contract signed between the Ministry of Transport, Works and Infrastructure and GAM Works. The total stores is 88, like I mentioned, and the 1.9 million represent 5% of the counterpart contribution paid by Council in order to demonstrate ownership of this very important project. So this sum was paid on the 16th of February. The next page, 13th, deals with the delivery of IT equipment and software, which are key components of the Greater Banjul Area Urban Sustainable Development Program 2020-2024, which was funded by the African Development Bank and implemented by UNOPS the Gambia. Page 14 talks about the presentation of financial assistance to students, which was held on the 11th of March 2021 in the sum of $1.2 million. It was meant to support 110 students, and also on the same day 100 textbooks for upper basic schools were also donated to the Regional Education Directorate for onwards transmission to upper basic schools. The textbook is Social and Environmental Studies textbook. Page 16 talks about the cleanup in Brikama Market and surroundings, which was done in partnership with Help Gambia. Help Gambia is a registered non-governmental organization that collaborated with the council on the 10th of April and participated in the major cleanup exercise of the Brikama Market and also its surroundings. Page 17 talks about the rehabilitation of a 1.5 kilometers feeder road in Sunchu Alaje, which is in line with our strategic priority 3. And because this road links the community to scores of satellite communities in the Komono district, with the objective to improve access to goods and services, and also mitigate the traffic nightmare within the beneficiary communities upon completion. Page 18 is on the technical steering committee on Brikama Market inaugurated. This technical steering committee was set up by the Ministry of Works to monitor and facilitate the smooth execution of the project and adequately address emerging challenges about the project. So the first meeting of this committee was held on the 22nd of April 2021 at the Governor's Conference Hall, followed by a site visit. So members of this committee includes the Deputy Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Transport, of course the Ministry of Local Government, GAMWorks, NAWEC, and the Governor's Office. Page 19 is on our participation in the amendment of the Election Bill 2020. When local authorities across the country were invited to share their comment and observations on the election bill at the National Assembly building in Banjul on the 4th of May. So the discussions was organized by the Joint Committee of the Regional Government and Lands Ombudsman and IEC and the Human Rights and Constitution Matters. The same page talks about the virtual discussions that we have on the Brikama Nema Revitalization Plan 2021 to 2025. The discussions were centered on the short and the long-term goals of the Brikama Nema Revitalization Plan with the objective to raise funds, rehabilitate and modernize the road infrastructure within the said community, among others. The next page is on the food item donated by the Turkish Cooperation and Coordination Agency to vulnerable families in the region on the 6th of May 2021. That is a total of 150 bags of 25 kg of rice, 150 bags of 10 kg of sugar, and 150 gallons of 5-liter cooking oil were handed over to the Honorable Chairman by the country coordinator of TICA. The next page, 21, is also on a major cleanup exercise along the Westfield Brikama Highway in collaboration with the National Road Authority and officers of the 4th Infantry Battalion, which was held on the 28th of May. The idea is to keep the highway litter-free and enhance an environmentally friendly site to both the motorists, tourists, and also pedestrians. The next page is on page 22. It's on the site visit to the roads projects within Brikama town. That is on the 24th of May. In collaboration with the National Road Authority, we conducted a joint project site visit. The purpose of this visit is to assess the level of progress, discuss the challenges, and undertake corrective measures to ensure the timely execution of these important works. These works includes Lot 1, which is from the Brikama Church Johnson via the District Hospital to Methodist Academy and the Newtown Road. Lot 3 is the access road leading to the final dump site in Tamana. So the issues we discussed were the project timeline, technical matters, health and safety, and quality management. Page 23 is on the core funding of the Regional Forum on Illegal Migration, which was held on the 22nd of May at the Regional Education Office in Brikama. The next item on the same page, page 23, is the inauguration of street lights in Lamen. The above community-driven initiative was inaugurated on the 30th of May, attended by our chairman and host of other officials. The initiative, supported by council with a sum of $368,000 in February 2021, is in line with our strategic priority 2020 to 2024. The streetlight projects covered strategic areas within Lamen, namely Hariala, Wayoto West Zone, and Temasu, respectively. The next page, 24, is on the provisional handing over of a new office complex. On 31st May 2021, the council took delivery of a new office complex, which is constructed under the Rural Infrastructural Development Project and implemented by GAMWorks. The project worth over 21 million was contracted to Kurubari Construction Company Limited, and the consultant is Fenta Architects. The handing over ceremony coincided with the tour of the National Assembly Select Committee on the monitoring of the implementation of government projects. The next page, 25, is on our intervention of 1.4 million to 7 communities, which was held on the 24th of June 2020. We disbursed a sum of $1,417,310 to 7 communities within the region. The support follows a formal request from these communities, and an assessment was conducted by the Directorate of Planning and Development to determine the alignment of this request to the community strategic goals. So the communities that benefited from this support are Cloro Village Development Committee, which received $259,910 for the completion of the community market project. The second is Tauto Village Development Committee, which receives a sum of $62,400 for water expansion project. The third community is Sangajor Village Development Committee, which receives a sum of $138,500 for the upgrading of the solar water system in the said community. The fourth community is the Progressive Youths of Campasa, which receives a sum of $156,500 for the upgrading of the solar borehole system. The fifth community is the Marakisa Sports Committee, which receives $100,000 for the completion of the fencing of the football field. The sixth is the Lamen CDC Development Association, which receives a sum of $250,000 for the rehabilitation of 4.8 kilometer feeder roads. The final community is Nema Kabilo Development Association, Brikama. The sum of $450,000 is for the provision of 60 street solar lights as part of plans to transform the community of Brikama Nema. So the next page is the photos of the presentations of these supports. The next page, page 27, is on the second quarter monitoring visit embarked upon by the Gambia Association of Local Government Authorities, GALGA, on the 25th of June 2021. The next item is on the contract signing for the drilling of 2 solar-powered boreholes on the 4th of July 2021. We've signed a contract worth over $1,054,000, $200 for the drilling of 2 solar-powered boreholes with bilateral drilling and plumbing enterprise in Kanjibatu and Kangwale in Bantanjang Ward, Fonyi Bondari District, and Arankol Kunda in Wasadu Ward, Fonyi Jarol District. The next page, 28, is on a study tour to the Promoville project in Dakar, and 3 representatives from the council in the person of the Honorable Chairman, myself, and the Director of Planning and Development, joined colleagues from Banjul City Council, Kanifi Municipality, and 5 officials from the Ministry of Lands and Regional Government, and UNOPS project personnel. We undertake a 4-day study tour from the 4th to 8th July 2021 to the Promoville project in Dakar, Senegal. The tour was organized by UNOPS as part of the outputs of the capacity development component of the Greater Banjul Area Sustainable Development Program 2040. The objectives of the study tour is to exchange knowledge on best practice in sustainable urban development projects. The next page is on page 29. Is on the highlighted the humanitarian donation to the July 7th windstorm victims in the sum of $500,000 to support the people affected by the windstorm through the Regional Disaster Management Agency. The next item is on the same page, is the forum on the establishment of the sanitary landfills for Greater Banjul area. On 3rd August 2021, we participated in a Development Partners Forum on waste disposal in the Greater Banjul area, which was chaired by the Lord Mayor, Talib Ahmed Bensouda of Kanifing Municipal Council. The essence is to discuss means of establishing an engineered sanitary landfill for the greater Banjul area while using the 3 current sites, that is Mile 2 for Banjul City Council, Bakote for Kanifing Municipal Council, and Tamana for Brikama, has transfer and recycling stations. Page 30 is on the capacity building for decentralized structures. In short, is the village development committees in collaboration or with funding from the United Nations Economic Development Project, and also facilitated by the Department of Community Development. The training is in fulfillment of the councils for the training of the VDCs in the region with intention to promote sustainable development by strengthening the capacity of local development structures to empower the communities by assisting them to identify their own development needs and come up with plans. In addition, the training was in response to a key recommendation which was highlighted in the 2020 VDC-WDC assessment report conducted by the Department of Community Development and funded by Brikama Area Council. The next page is on the disbursement of over $3 million to 7 communities, which was held on the 12th of August. The sum of $3,568,525 is to implement a total of 7 community priority projects located in Pirang, Gunjur, Sanyang, and Karong Works respectively. The disbursement is a fulfillment of our obligation to commit the royalty collected from quarrying operations to support the implementation of projects in communities that are directly or indirectly affected by quarrying operations. These demand-driven projects are the rehabilitation of a women garden in Berending, electricity expansion project in Kartong, rehabilitation of Kartong Badala Fish Smoking Center, electricity expansion in Pirang, Darussalam, Kabilo, and rehabilitation of a major feeder road connecting Tanje to Lamsar. The other project is the electricity expansion in Gunjur and also the construction of an admission ward in Sambuya Village Health Post. Page 32 talks about the first engagement with the Ministry of Information and Communication Infrastructure on the rolling out of the Google Plus codes, otherwise known as the digital addressing solution in the West Coast region. The digital addressing solution is expected to promote e-commerce, assist in the control and prevention of crimes, and boost the revenue potential and enhance proper planning. The next page, 33, is on the joint cleansing exercise at the Gambia College, which was held on the 19th of September, in collaboration with the Migration Information Center, West Coast Region, and also with the Gambia College Differently Able Association, the West Coast Region Regional Youth Committee, the Regional Youth and Sports Office, Brikama Red Cross Branch, and the Good Deeds Gambia, and also Together Africa Gambia Organization, and also the Ethical Youth Leadership Hub with aim to clean the Gambia College Brikama campus. The next page is page 34, which is on the World Cleanup Day 2021. In observance of this day, the Council, in collaboration with the National Association of Artisanal Fisheries Operators and other stakeholders, embarked on a fish landing site cleansing exercise, which was held on the 19th of September at Tanje. The next item is when the Council joined officially as a partner of Making Cities Resilient, MCR 2030, which is part of the initiative of the United Nations Disaster Risk Reduction Strategy, with the aim to ensure cities become inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable by 2030. The next page is page 35, which is on the 2-day capacity building on waste management in partnership with Molo Association and Area Metropolitan de Barcelona ANB, which was held on the 11th of October, with a view to accord the participant an understanding of the objective of waste management, its dynamics, challenges, and the trail of possible solutions for the project. The next page, 36, is on the second quarter site visit to the roads projects that I mentioned earlier, which was held on the 11th of November. There is lot 1 and lot 2. The next item is on the stakeholder engagement on the integrated solid waste management plan. On the 15th of November, we convened an engagement with our diverse stakeholders with focus on developing our first ever integrated solid waste management plan. The plan was expected to provide a policy and a strategic direction towards sustainable waste management in line with our strategic priority. The Netherlands Senior Experts, which is a Dutch voluntary non-profit organization, is providing technical assistance in the development of the integrated solid waste management plan for the council. An expert in the person of Tom Tendemans was in the country from 13th to 26th November to help support the process. Now fast forward to page 38. It's on the midterm review of our strategic plan 2020-2024, which was held on the 29th of November with Dr. Amadou Sow, who was the lead consultant with support from the United Nations Economic Management Project. So the primary purpose of the midterm review was to assess the continued relevance of the strategic plan and the progress made towards achieving the plan objectives. The forum was also an opportunity to make modifications to ensure the achievement of these objectives within the lifetime of the plan. Moving forward, page 29 is on the retreat on the evaluation of the students or interns of the UTG UNDP graduate scheme, which was held on the 20th to 21st December 2021. To evaluate the performance of the interns of the University of the Gambia, which are posted to the 8 local government areas across the country. The retreat was held at Masakongo Conference Center in the Lower River region. The graduate scheme is a 6-month structured training program run by the UTG in collaboration with the Economic Management Project for the UNDP. The rationale of the scheme is to provide graduates with a career-related experience that is available in several streams, ranging from finance, audit, procurement, planning, development, and ICT. The next page is on the presentation of 10 brand new motorcycles to revenue collectors and other staffs, which was held on the 23rd of December 2021 in the sum of $485,000. The motorbikes are meant to ease mobility constraints affecting revenue collectors in revenue mobilization, and also to help in the realization of revenue generation component of our public finance management strategy 2021-2025. The motorbikes are also expected to enhance routine inspection, supervision, and monitoring of our activities and programs, notably in the area of waste management. The next page is on the in-country professional studies with a view to enhance staff productivity for efficient service delivery. Page 48 is on the roles and functions of the SPU, which is the Specialized Procurement Unit of Council. The next page is page 43. It's still on the responsibilities of the SPU, but beneath that you have the police department, which is responsible for the security of all the properties, resources, and staff during working hours and after, and also for investigating any security irregularities within the council. On the next page is page 44. It also deals with the roles and responsibilities of the Directorate of Planning and Development. Fast forward to page 45.
So, yes. Yes, thank you very much, CEO, for taking us through. I think these are all achievements that you made. I think it's better you go to maybe some of the challenges. You just present and then we can go to Director of Finance.
Okay.
Your constraint, please.
Yeah, taken through the constraints, key among the challenges faced by Brikama Area Council include, are not limited to, page 62. Page 62. Are we there?
2 of the 2021.
Yes. Okay. One is the limitation to conduct proper valuation. By regulations, council do not have the mandate to conduct valuation exercise. It is the Department of Lands and Surveys that are responsible for the said exercise. We want to appeal that we are allowed to engage private valuators to do the exercise, because the last valuation exercise was conducted in 2005, and value property is undoubtedly a huge revenue area for the council. The second constraint is inadequate physical decentralization. Section 128, subsection 3 of the Local Government Act 2002 requires the central government to provide 25% of the council's development budget. However, this budget support has not been forthcoming, thereby affecting the development budgets of the council. What the government, through the ministry, is providing is that of a conditional grants, which started with 500,000 to 1 million and now 2 million per annum for the fiscal year 2019, 2020, 2021, respectively. Our third constraint is the lost revenue component. The council has lost all of its major traditional revenue areas to established agencies. Example, to Gambia Revenue Authority is collecting the car park fees. The Department of Geology is collecting from the sand mining areas, sand and gravel mining areas. The Gambia Livestock Marketing Agency is collecting cattle tax. The judiciary is collecting the rent tribunal fees. The Gambia Tourism Board is collecting operational licenses from hotels both within the TDA and outside of the TDA. There are some hospitality establishments outside the TDA that are still paying operational fees to Gambia Tourism Board. Therefore, we want to appeal that council is allowed to collect trade licenses from the hospitality establishment outside of the TDA. On the issue of geology, responsible for the collections of fees at sand and gravel mining areas, we want to suggest that the MOU that dates back to 2019 be revisited. The state MOU has allocated 20% CS to Brikama Area Council, 25% to geology, 5% to the National Environment Agency, while 50% goes to the central government. It is our strong conviction that Brikama Area Council should have a larger percentage, having considered the direct impact that mining has on the people of the West Coast region. Now we go to the challenges. First is the allocation of sites within layouts. We know there exists quite a number of layouts within the West Coast region. Residential layouts. So we have only formally obtained 6 allocations from the ministry through the Department of Lands and Surveys for car parks within Brusubi Phase 1, Phase 2, Salaji, Sotokoi, Nemasu, and coastal layout. However, the coastal layout is facing litigation and we cannot access the site. The markets also within the stipulated area is yet to be formally allocated to the council as well. We want to request through the National Assembly Select Committee, and of course this August Committee, to facilitate the allocation and address the issue of litigation within the coastal layout. We have also sent a formal request for the allocation of these sites in 2021. Similarly, the Brikama Central Market is overcrowded, and in order to decongest the said market, we will need allocation to move the car park so as to expand the market. We have also applied for an allocation for our main office complex, markets, and other public spaces to the council for the purpose of documentation. We are also kindly asking your good office to help in expediting this process. In conclusion, as the residents continue to demand for basic services and amenities, we want to renew our appeal for the return of this lost revenue components so that the council will get a fair share of the revenue collected from the lost revenue components to be able to plow back these revenues towards meeting the needs and aspirations of the people of the West Coast region. And also for government to provide the 25% development budget as required by law. In conclusion, we want to register our sincere gratitude to this August committee and also the subject matter specialists and also our colleagues from the National Audit Office and the Gambia Public Procurement Office for their diligent support and guidance accorded to us during the period on the review. On that note, I wish to stop here and thank you so much for your kind attention.
Thank you very much, CEO, for that detailed report. Now we move to the Finance Director to give us the financial statement. So that one also, we just, yes, please.
Maybe I need to be corrected when you said the Finance Director, the financial statement. But it's the audited report, is the auditors who report, and then if they have anything, they respond.
Yeah, the audit. Yes, you can go ahead. We want the Finance Director to report, then after the audit.
No, the Finance Director has no report.
Okay, okay.
The report is the audit report.
Audit report.
They will just respond.
Okay.
But normally, I don't know what approach you
No,
go to.
the approach that we do here, the Finance Director will just give us the income and expenditure and the balance sheet. Then move to the audit department for their queries and stuff like that. So this is how we do it.
Maybe these people, I don't think they will.
Okay. Then it's all right now because
So now they change.
now we allow the auditor to give us a report from the council.
The approach, I don't know, because it's a bulky report. I don't know how you people
No.
go about it. Or I don't know.
You just summarize. Just the audit opinion and the basis. That's what you need to highlight to us. Yes.
Yeah, you know, you have the opinion and the management list.
Oh. Okay, then now the auditor can take us through the income and expenditure, then and the balance sheet. Then after that, the basis of your opinion, you can bring that one to us so that we can be informed.
And also he can also highlight the areas where the implications are also high, so that at least we can also look into.
You don't need to go to everything.
The areas which are high.
What I want to suggest, maybe that's just for the sake of time, because since in the morning, I'm just thinking, if I can read the audit opinion, and then maybe take you to the executive summary, rather than, because normally the approach should be, I will read the findings, the finance director will. And then I'm just thinking maybe I just read the opinion, the executive summary. The executive summary is just about the management, internal control issues. because the report will be with you people until Monday, and then you can just prepare yourself. Then Monday when you come together with the subject matter specialists, and then we can guide, and then you can have the proper discussion.
I think it's all the same. It's all
okay.
the same.
Okay.
That's how we do it.
Okay.
Now we'll go, and during the consideration, that's the time members will, highlight some key areas, and that they want to clarify. So, but notwithstanding, you can just give us your audit opinion and some of the basis. By the finance director.
Okay. 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 Okay.
I don't know whether
okay.
director,
Yeah.
you have it with you. So you'll start from 2020.
2020, yes.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. Brikama Area Council Financial Statement for 2020. Revenue and Expenditure Statement for the year ended 31st December 2020. You have revenue. Government subvention. That is Node 1, which is 2.3 million. Then you have license. License, you have 31.4 million. Rates and tax, you have 22.2 million. Rent and fees, you have 29.6 million. Other income, you have 2 million. Then interest, you have 216,000. A total revenue of 88 million, $28,401.78 bruts. Then expenditure, you have office of the chairman, 2.2 million, administration, 3.1 million, finance department, 4.2 million, market, 1.6, security, 5.1, license, you have 784,000, rates and taxes, 3.7 million, internal audit, 414,000, procurement unit, 730,000, environment and sanitation, you have 5.2 million, mechanic, you have 520,000, planning and development, you have 1.1 million, utilities, you have 1.4, repair and maintenance, you have 3.3, general expense, you have 38.5 million, capital expense, you have 5.6, have a total expenditure of 78,103,338.86. You have a surplus of 9.9 million for 2020. That is the revenue and expenditure. Page 12. Page 13, you have the balance sheet for 2020. Cash and bank balances, you have 393,000. Deposit account, 7 million. Advance, you have 3.6 million. Liabilities, you have deposit 930,000, loans 10.1 million, then you have your accumulated fund of 26,775.21. A total amount of 11,091,227.47 for 2020. Then you have notes to the financial statement. You have the introduction, accounting policy, basis of preparation. Then you have revenue and expenditure. Capital costs, then asset and liabilities, investment, reporting currency, that is the GMD, reporting period, and consistency concepts. Then you have notes to the accounts, revenue and expenditure statement for the year ended 31st December 2020. Revenue, you have one, that is node 1, you have government subvention, which we receive 2.3 million for the year 2020. Then license, you have trade license, you have liquor license and operational fee, a total amount of 31.4 million. Then you come to rate and taxes. You have residential rate, commercial rate, areas of rates, and government rates, totaling to 22.2 million. Then you have rent and fees. You have market monthly, market daily fees, market annually, car park fees, lease land, transfer of land, and royalties, amounting to 29.6 million. Then page 17, you have other income. You have combo residential allowance, sales of assets, court fines, court fees, court proceeding, and miscellaneous, amounting to 2 million. Then interest and dividend. You have interest on deposit of $216,300. Then expenditure. You come office of the chairman. Chairman salaries, council clerk, tax, councilors.
Okay, that's all right. That's all right. What we need is all right. Now, we just need to have the auditor to give us his audit opinion.
All right.
Then, during the consideration stage, then that's where we will have the interaction, where we will ask.
Thank you.
And you respond.
Thank you.
Please. So, now Tarawale is out.
Let me get back.
Yes. Yes. Okay, welcome back, Director. So now we move to the audit opinion and some of the basis. So you can give us your audit summary.
Okay.
And the key highlights.
Okay.
Then on Monday, then that's the time we will also engage them and they will respond us.
Okay.
Yes, please.
All
Thank
right.
you. So you can take us through.
Okay, page 8.
From 2020.
Yeah, is it only 2020?
Huh?
It's for both 2020 and 2021?
Yes, please.
Okay, that's
Thank
fine.
you.
Okay, page 8. I'll refer you to page 8. Auditor General's report on the financial statement of the Brikama Area Council for the year ended 31st December 2022. We have qualified opinion. I have audited the financial statement of Brikama Area Council for the year ended 31st December 2022. This financial statement comprised of revenue and expenditure statement and balance sheet for the year then ended, and a summary of significant accounting policies and other explanatory notes on the information on page 12 to 24. In my opinion, except for the effects of the matters described in the basis for qualified opinion section of my report, the accompanying financial statement present fairly in all material respects the results of operation of the entity as at 31st December 2022 and its financial performance for the year ended in accordance with the Financial and Accounting Manual for Local Government Authorities. The basis for opinion conducted my audit in accordance with the international standard for Supreme Audit Institution. My responsibilities under those standards are further described in the auditor's responsibility. The except for the ones that need to be adjusted are the unpresented collectors, cash, and GTR. The council did not present some revenue collectors cash book and their general AAA GTR books. And then the second one, unpresented deposit slip. Deposit slips for 2 revenue collectors were not presented for the audit inspection in paragraph 3.2. And then the key audit matters during the audit, presenting of records. There was significant delay in providing records for the audit. some of the records were provided after the draft management letter was issued. Council should note that non-provision of the documents will be used as basis of issuing opinion to the financial statement. This has caused significant delay in completing the audit exercise and issuing opinion. Page 31 now. Page 31, that's for 2021. I have audited the financial statement of Brikama Area Council for the year ended 31st December 2021. This financial statement comprised of revenue and expenditure statement and balance sheet for the year ended, and the summary of significant accounting policies and the explanatory information on page 35 to 46. In my opinion, except for the effect of the matters described in the basis for qualified opinion section of my report, the accompanying financial statement present fairly in all material respect of the operation of the entity as at 31st December 2021. The basis for the except for the one on presented deposit slip. Deposit slip for 2 revenue collectors were not presented for audit inspection as in paragraph 3.2 of the management letter. And the key audit matters. 1, presenting of records. There was significant delay in providing records for the audit. Some of the records were provided after the draft management letter was issued. Council should note that non-provision of the documents will be used as a basis in issuing opinion to the financial statement. These have caused significant delay in completing the audit exercise and issuing of opinion. These are the audit reports for 2020-2021. Quick run over of the executive summary, just not the main report, but just the executive summary. The executive summary, these are just the management letter on page 53. You can go to page 53. Executive summary. 2.1, you have over and understatement of ledger balances. We noted that overstatement of ledger balance of 813,163.90 and 9,312,1722 in respect of revenue and expenditure. There are some over or under expenditure. Incorrect treatment of opening balances. We noted that some ledger balances were with an opening balance figure. These were in respect of expenditure, which should not have opening balances since the area council is issuing cash basis of accounting. General ledger without or incomplete account names. We noted that some expenditure ledgers were without or incomplete account names to identify the type of account. And then lack of comparative figure. The 2020 financial statement were without comparative figures for comparison. And the loss of revenue collections machine. We found out that 2 of the daily market collectors lost their revenue collection machine. There was no investigative report for our confirmation. Non-submission of financial records like the unpresented collected cash book, deposit slip, and personal file. On accounted collection, we noted an unaccounted collection of 80,690 in the main cashier's cash book. You have the understatement of deposit. We noted understatement of 33,756 in respect of deposit by revenue collectors. Unpaid lancing and court fines. We noted an unpaid lancing and fine of 33,300 by NMSC's Africa Clinic. Unpresented deposit slip. A deposit slip of 446,863 was not presented. Payment without adequate supporting document. 1,301,500 were passed for payment without adequate supporting document. Payroll deduction. We noted that some staff were paid less than 50% of their salaries as take home for the year 2021. Non and incorrect performance of monthly bank reconciliation. During the period, bank reconciliations they were noted. The overstatement of bank charges, treatment presented on checkbooks. Non-preparation of quarterly audit report. We noted that the internal audit unit did not perform and prepare a quarterly audit report. However, an annual audit was conducted for the period January to December 2020 and report was provided. Incomplete works, we observed incomplete work of 3,087,190.17 and 1,054,200 for road maintenance and rehabilitation drilling of boreholes, respective contract by the area council. However, the contractors were paid their contract amount in full. This is just the summary of the
thank you very much.
Internal control weaknesses.
Thank you very much, Auditor. Now we move to the compliance status of the Brikama Area Council, GPPA, for 2020.
Thank you, Honorable Chair, honorable members, subject matter specialists, colleagues from National Audit Office, Chairman, Management and staff of Brikama Area Council. Honorable Chair, I'm here to present the annual compliance review report for Brikama Area Council for 31st December and year ended 31st December 2020. May I refer you to page 3 of the report. Chapter 1, Introduction. In reference to Section 12 of Gambia Public Procurement Authority Amendment Act 2018, the GPPA is mandated to conduct annual compliance review on procuring organizations and accordingly inform the National Assembly and Cabinet on their respective compliance levels. In execution of this aspect of its mandate, the staff of GPPA conduct a review exercise at Brikama Area Council from the 16th to 18th August 2022 to determine the organization's level of compliance regarding procurement transactions conducted from 1st of January to 31st December 2020. May I refer you to page 13? Number 7, Examination and Receipt Committee, non-compliance. The Brikama Area Council did establish the Examination and Receipt Committee as required by GPPA Regulations Section 133, 134, 135, and 136, but there was no evidence of good receipt note prepared and signed by the end users in some procurements. Implications, page 14. There is a risk that the goods and services delivered may not conform to the specification or quantity. Recommendations, we recommend that the PO should examine and receive all the goods delivered as required by the regulation. Page 15, number 9, record keeping of the procurement activities, non-compliance. The PO did not maintain a comprehensive and individual file for all procurement activity. Proper assessment of procurement records is a challenge. Implications. The lack of receipt in the procurement file may imply that the procurement is not complete. Accountability cannot be assured. Recommendations. The PO should ensure that procurement proceedings are documented and including all documents related to procurement conducted. The management should carry out training on procurement record management for the staff of SPU. Page 17, non-compliance. The PO does not carry out pre-qualification procedures to determine approved list of registered suppliers as required by Section 23. Instead, the PO relies on this eligibility list of Gambia Public Procurement Authority to invite quotations or single source procurements. However, all contractors awarded were found to register with the authority. Implication: there could be business biasness in the identification of prospective suppliers. Some eligible suppliers may always be excluded in the procurement process, which compromise the objectives of the Act. Recommendations: the PO should pre-qualify suppliers as required by Section 23 of the Act as assist in arriving at the list of registered approved suppliers from whom to solicit quotations or single source from. Page 18, number 13, supporting the SMEs and preference of reservation, non-compliance. The PO did not have any specific program in place as a way of supporting SMEs and has not applied preference and reservations in its procurements as provided for in GPPA Act Section 36 and GPPA Regulation 24. Recommendations: the PO should apply preference and reservations to promote the local industry and provide procurement opportunities to the disadvantaged groups as provided in objective of the Act. Page 19, number 17, submission and receipt of bids. Non-compliance. There was no secure tender quotation box for the receipt of quotations or tenders from the prospective suppliers as provided for in GPPA Regulations Section 53, subsection 3. The staffs of SPU and non-SPU members collected quotations verbally from suppliers, which compromise the integrity of the receipt process, which may lead to the dodge action practice. Implications: there is a risk that the tender or quotations may open or tampered before quotations or tenders opening the time. Fraudulent practices are imminent. Recommendations: for purpose of integrity of the procurement process in line with the objective of the Act, there is need for BAC to have both the tender and quotation box in secure designations within the premises, preferable next to CEO's office. BAC suppliers should be sensitized to start delivering quotations and bids by tender or quotation box, and staff of BAC should be discouraged from collecting quotations directly from the suppliers to eliminate a risk of dodge action. Number 20, page 20, number 21, inquiries and compliance mechanism. Findings: Brikama Area Council did not have document system and procedures for handling bids complaints and does not maintain a complaints or concern lodge register in the documents present for our audit. Recommendation: the PO should put in place mechanisms to handle and document bid complaints. Page 26, conclusion. Using the above compliance 24 related variables and specific findings on some of the procurement transactions for the period under review, Brikama Area Council was found to be 86%, which donated substantially compliance with the Public Procurement Authority Amendment Act 2018 and the Regulation 2019. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Thank you very much, GPPA, for taking us through the compliance report of Brikama Area Council. I understand the 2021 is yet to be done.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you can give us a timeline so that we can work on them.
Thank you, Honorable, once again. In fact, this is one of the reasons why I was appealing for the timeline to be end of month, so that we look at all the local government authorities, because we have not reviewed any local government authority for 2021. That is why initially I appealed during the other sessions, so that it can be moved to by the end of the month. Hopefully, in fact, I have already communicated with them. Like I said earlier, they review the schedules and everything, all our programs in the compliance units are suspended, so that we concentrate on the reviews of all the authorities or the local government authorities for 2021, because none of them was reviewed. But then, if we still maintain the 3 weeks from now, when we go back, we'll try to see how to squeeze Brikama Area Council, so that by probably the 18th, we will be able to generate a report for them.
Okay, based on our agreement in the morning, I think we can still go by that. Still now, you can still factor Brikama Area Council based on your schedule. Just reorganize it, so that you can be able to, prioritize area councils, so that we can get this report on time. Okay. Just like KM and
the others. Okay.
The others, please.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So. So, honorable members, if you have anything to say before we draw the curtain. Yes, Honorable Chair.
I was about to give a full clap to GPPA this time around, seeing the compliance report, but I'll give them a half clap. And encourage you to work on the 2021 report, because I think parliamentary sessions will commence sometime on the 14th of November, and we are to give a report, and we cannot give an incomplete report without the compliance report from GPPA, meaning this our report will be incomplete. So just like we said, we maintain the time frame given this morning. Thank you. 3 weeks.
Thank you very much. Honorable Cham, the Chams.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. For me, I think I still stand by what I said in the morning. We need to be very strict of what we are doing, because we also have a timeline of presenting our report at the plenary. So I'll still stand by what I said in the morning, as I said. Thank you.
I think that is very important, because we must collaborate. It's not only us, but like all this report need to be together, so that, it can help us to fast track our work. So on that note, if one is here, the other is missing, so still it will delay our work. So for that being the case, we will urge the GPPA and the Brikama Area Council to collaborate and work together, so that we can get this report on time. Thank you. So, and at the same time, I want to inform Brikama Area Council that Monday you should be coming for the consideration of the report in the morning, 10 o'clock. So you can take note. So on that note, hence this is just the presentation. So I want to thank you once again for coming. Our subject matter specialist, audit office, GPPA, honorable members and our clerk and the support staff who are here. We want to thank you for your time and everything. So on behalf of the committee, we thank Brikama Area Council through the chairman. So can someone move for the adjournment of the till on? Thank you. Those in favor, say aye. So on that. Thank you very much. So thank you. So you can take your leave. Thank you.